Hey, this is Paolo from Trivium, and you're listening to Epic Footnote.
Hey everyone, what's going on? It's Tell a Truth and a Lie. I'm Matt.
I'm Zach.
If you haven't joined us for one of these before, you don't have too much catching up to do. Like our other new interview show, There Goes My Hero. This show we've done once with Mark LaBelle from Dirty Honey. If you didn't listen to those episodes, go back and check them out. But essentially what goes on here is we ask whoever we're interviewing to tell us two truths and a lie, and it's our job to snoop out the lie and find out if we're right or not. So this time, if you haven't heard the first part of the interview, this is part 2 of our interview with Paolo Gregoletto from Trivium, the bass player. Once again, Zach and I, huge fans of Trivium, both just picked up the new album. And if we had to do a quick 2 minutes to review and just give some star ratings, Zach, what's your star rating?
Anything that Trivium does release, it's just usually always stellar and has incredible moments. So, I mean, if I had to give a star review, What the Dead Men Say, at least 4 stars. I mean, it's just another example of how Trivium continues to evolve. So definitely couldn't recommend it more.
Yeah, I would say that's about right. I would give it about 4 stars as well. You know, like you mentioned, Trivium always evolving, always changing. I remember the first time that Matt kind of really went like death metal growling, and I was kind of shocked, and it's evolved over the years, and I've actually become a little bit of a fan of that deeper, heavier sound.
They're a band that literally has everything you might want from a metal record, whether it's the more melodic singing or the more melodic, catchy hooks, and then just pure aggression. It's just an awesome band. They're just so awesome, and to even get to take a little bit of Paolo's time was really awesome. I mean, we had such a blast talking to him about getting to meet Metallica for the first time on There Goes My Hero, our first interview series, and also talk about the new album and what he's doing. But with this one, Tell the Truth and a Lie, I'm still shocked, Matt, about what we learned about Paolo.
Well, just the 3 things that he presented us was kind of interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, as you'll hear, I mean, it was really tough to figure out what was the actual truth. And I'm still a little shocked. And I think you will be as surprised as we are. So give it a listen. And we also want to make sure that we're talking to more artists that you're interested to learn more about. So let us know on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Epic Footnote, who you think we should be speaking to next. Thanks so much for listening and enjoy.
Without further ado, here's part 2.
So with Tell the Truth and a Lie, we ask artists to share 3 things. 2 of them are facts, or like little known facts about either themselves or the band. Mm-hmm. Tell us 3 things, and then we will figure out which is a lie.
Okay. Let me think here. Let me think of a good one. Okay, so when I was this was before Trivium, when I was younger, I met a couple famous people. First person, O.J. Simpson. Lenny
That's a hell of a name
Kravitz.
to start with.
Wait, the second person was Lenny Kravitz, you said?
Lenny Kravitz, yes. And then, last one I'll pick Donald Trump.
Interesting. Okay, so to recap here for everyone listening, we have to guess which 2 you've met and which one you haven't. So let's start off with, how did you meet O.J. Simpson?
My local band, we were playing, what was it? It was like a marathon. It's really weird. We were playing like on the side of the road. It was like at the end of the marathon in Miami. And I played a lot of weird shows when I was younger. Played at McDonald's. But yeah, did that and happened to meet O.J. Simpson somehow, just randomly on the street right there. And then for Lenny Kravitz, that was a contest. I don't even know if it was like a radio contest or something like that. But yeah, went down to like Miami, of course. That's where everything was happening, I guess. Waited at this like club that I couldn't even get into like legally, but I was with my mom at the time. And so we did get in, and I did get to meet Lenny Kravitz, and he signed my bass.
That's cool.
Whoa. How did you meet the Donald then?
Well, he lives up in West Palm Beach at Mar-a-Lago. Well, he, spends some of the time there. So just kind of doing another little gig up in West Palm, kind of I don't know if we would call it like a promenade or some sort of like outdoor thing there, and just kind of bumped into him there.
Did he say anything to you when you bumped into him?
No. I mean, it's kind of the same as like the OJ thing. You just kind of, you're like, whoa, there's that person, and then you meet them, and then that's it. It's just kind of a quick,
quick little,
yeah,
hey,
Yeah, like
Interesting.
one of those things.
So here's where I'm having trouble, and I'm going to ask some more questions. As Matt, I'm sure you're going to have some questions about this too. Because it's Florida,
Yes.
I feel like all of this is possible. Like that's what makes it so difficult.
Yeah, no, I definitely with Florida, I'm able to really kind of mine the weirdness.
I feel like
very
if you even said like, oh, I played a gig at an alligator farm, like, yeah, that sounds right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Florida.
Hmm.
How old were you when you were playing the gig that you met OJ at?
Probably about 15 or 16. This
Sorry.
was before he went to prison again.
Okay, so this was.
Yeah.
It sounds like he's being specific about that.
It's interesting you remember that too, because he's been in prison multiple times.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because I would have had to meet him before he went for the Vegas robbery thing.
So this was when he was allegedly a murderer, not, oh, he's a criminal.
Yeah.
Although I'm curious about the Lenny Kravitz one for a second. Matt, do you have any questions you want to ask before I start delving into Lenny Kravitz?
I was going to ask about Trump a little bit more because that one seemed kind of vague. So I'm kind of curious. You know, you said that you met him just kind of in passing. Were you like you guys were playing a show? Did he happen to wander into the show? Did you wander outside? Like, how did you actually come?
I think it was like a promotional thing. I'm trying to remember the name of because it's still there. It's like the shopping area. You know, it's like an outdoor like you walk through the areas and there's like tons of stores and there's restaurants. It was like some sort of promotional event. Maybe his wine or steak or something like that. One of the things he had his name on, and like Mar-a-Lago literally is right by this. It's like you could walk to it. So maybe he took the helicopter over from there and landed and did his little promotional thing. And we were doing kind of like the marathon event. You know, we played a lot of weird stuff. So we were playing at the little promenade thing in this shopping center, this outdoor thing. Because in Florida, like all the shopping centers for the most part, they're like outside. You have like the areas kind of like Europe where people sit around in the cafes and stuff, and you get booked at those kind of things, and whether it's a festival or some sort of talent show or something. But tried everything.
Was this pre-Trivium?
Yeah, all of these were. This is my local band era.
But were these local bands like metal?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called Metal Militia was our band. Obviously, Metallica fans, but yeah. So I mean, I was pretty much the only constant member through this, but it had a lot of different members, but you know, we played all types of things. Played clubs. We opened for a couple bands. We opened for God Forbid. That's how I met those guys years ago.
The Lenny Kravitz story is kind of blowing my mind now too.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a photo of Lenny?
Yes.
Yeah, you got a photo with him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recall the bass that you had him sign? Like, what brand was it?
It was a Washburn.
A Washburn.
It was a 5-string, my first 5-string bass.
Interesting.
Okay.
Did he say anything to you?
No, it was like one of those it was like super crowded, super loud club. I don't even know how we got in. I feel like my mom like talked to the people about like how we won this thing and got in there. Pretty much had to leave right away because I was like underage. So got the picture. He signed the bass, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't really, definitely probably of all the interactions, probably one of the quicker ones, but that was it. I don't even know. He had his sunglasses on, so I don't even know if he saw me.
I think I have my answer.
You think you have your answer?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with one, but
I feel like
I'm leaning toward another, but I have a gut feeling.
All right, I think I have one too. Matt, who do you think is the lie? Who do you think Paolo never actually met?
I'm thinking it's Lenny Kravitz.
You think it's Lenny Kravitz? Literally, it's Florida. It could be all of them. You could be even lying to us, and it's actually all three.
He could have met the Tiger King too.
Yeah,
that's true. That's true.
I'm leaning toward. Carol's down there. You probably know Carol.
A lot of those people are down there. The Miami one's down there. That other guy in West Palm.
Yeah, you probably know all of them. I'm gonna go with OJ. I feel like I both can and can't see just OJ casually walking around, but at the same time, I also could because he probably thinks he could get away with something like that. I'm gonna go with OJ though.
Okay.
So, who is the celebrity you did not meet?
I did not meet Donald Trump.
You're both wrong.
That's where I was leaning towards too.
We're both wrong. Okay, so now I have a million questions.
Okay.
Do you recall what it was like to even see OJ? When did you realize, oh wow, that's OJ Simpson?
I mean, he looks exactly the same in person. You know what I mean? Like sometimes people look a little. It takes you a minute to kind of recognize someone. You know, anytime I've seen a famous person, I'm like, oh, is that person? But for sure it was him. He's the only person that just looks so much like that. I mean, kind of the creepier part was he was with a girlfriend at the time that kind of looked like his ex-wife, and that was very weird. So yeah, that was very, I don't know, weird. I did shake his hand. I'm like, I don't know, I'll shake his hand, I guess. But so I guess I've met a murderer.
It's the infamous hand.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of it. I was like, well, I've never knowingly shaken a murderer's hand and lived to tell about it. So that was it. Yeah. Wow. Who would have thought at the marathon in Miami, OJ Simpson would just be walking around like that? You know, I don't know. I guess in Florida, that's a great place to live. If you're an infamous person, because I feel like no one cares because there's so many weird people, and we have a history of just bizarre, macabre type things happening that it's like OJ Simpson may as well come down.
I think it speaks volumes that out of all three choices, Lenny Kravitz was the one that was like, oh, that's the least insane one. It's still weird.
That is a weird one.
That's kind of where I was going. I was leaning towards that because it's like, all right, yeah, OJ and Trump, all right, they're too outlandish.
Yeah.
Like, why Lenny Kravitz?
Yeah. That's of Lenny Kravitz. I don't know how I won this thing, but I don't know. This was one of those things of well, may as well try to meet Lenny Kravitz, I guess. I mean, it was I don't know if it's it must have been a radio contest or something like that, because that's the only thing I could think of.
Was it just your mom really wanting to meet Lenny Kravitz, and it's like, I'll use my son as an excuse?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it could have been that too.
That's so cool and random that you have an autographed bass.
Yeah.
By Lenny Kravitz.
I do. All my basses are pretty much, except for my new Warwicks. I have autographs on all of them now because I've taken this opportunity of meeting all these crazy famous people to just get things signed by them. So I have a good collection now.
Who's your most prized autograph?
I got Steve Harris on one of them.
Oh, wow.
I got Kerry King on another. I got Nikki Sixx on one of my Warlocks. I got Lemmy. I guess that's probably the most prized at this point, obviously.
Yeah. And
that was on the bass I used at our download performance. So it has all of the basses pretty much were used live and have some sort of relevance to Trivium. Getting him on there. I mean, that's a bass god right there. So that one will never be played out again. Yeah. So that's it. Got it on there. I think I have Duff from GNR on one of my basses too. I got that in 2005 on Ozfest when Velvet Revolver played the last couple shows. I just went up and I'm like, hey, can you sign this? And that was it. That's how I started doing that.
That's so
awesome.
Cool. I guess a better question is, who don't you have signed a bass from?
I don't know. I got to think about who I'd want to sign my Warwicks. I get it on the back of the headstock. That's what I did on my other ones. Although on my one white bass, Nikki Sixx did sign on the front. I mean,
that's badass.
Play them?
I don't play those anymore because I switched over to Warwick. So I have all these basses just sitting in Florida. So I got a couple I need to get signed, I think. I don't know who else I would get. I wanted to get Jason Newsted when he played at Download a couple years ago with his solo band he did for a little bit. I didn't get a bass sign, but I did get a picture with him at least.
I think I saw that picture. That's really, really awesome. Well, I'm just jealous now.